Okay, so Blinding Light of Love, hearing that this started as a Surface Wounds song makes sense because this song sounds like not just like a band that's actually in a room together. This sounds like a band that has toured the song for months before recording it. When it kicks in with that huge bass, those huge drums, like where did that come from? This is like a declaration that this is a real record.
You know, it's funny because as much as it started as a Surface Wound riff, when we actually went ahead and workshopped it through the Too Much Joy dysfunctional demo side, you know, I got immediately, everyone's like, oh, great chorus, great chorus. Can we tweak the verse? Because like the original verse was very shouty. It was like, you know, Frank Bruce's, and then Tim and Bill, Jay and Bill were kind of like, yeah, this is cool, but can the verse have a melody? And like, Jay came up with something.
Make the verse musical.
Yes,
well?
exactly. I hate it. What an unreasonable request. This is one of those songs that like Tommy and I were dialed in on, and it was very intense and incredible. And then I remember asking Tim for these lyrics. It came after, we'll talk about another song that came after, but it came after we had finished another song that was very slow and discursive and kind of very different from what we did. And I emailed Tim and I said, send me some fucking angry lyrics. And he goes, okay. And he sends me Blinding Light of Love, and he goes, okay, don't be fooled by the title because it's actually an angry song. And I'm like, this is great. And then I turned around a demo like that night, and then it went into the meat grinder, like, you know, Top Chef, like Jay and Bill, like just ripping it apart and making it much fucking better. So I have to say, some of these guys might think it's like, you know, rock and like whatever. I can't imagine being prouder of a song, especially as a first song on an album.
And I would say it's interesting to hear that this started as a Surface Wound song, because what I love about this, there's something from everybody in the band that I love in this song. Like Tommy's drumming is fucking insane. You and me on the chorus, just howling that chorus out. It's like, it's the funnest thing to sing in the world. And on the chorus in particular, Jay does this strummy thing that sounds like Bernard Sumner is in The Who all of a sudden. And every time I hear it, I see us on stage and I see Jay going fucking nuts as he's playing that bit. And then in the lead, and I may be wrong about this, but I think this is the first time a Too Much Joy song has ever had dueling guitars leading against each other. So you actually hear us playing as a 5-piece for the first time ever.
That lead is from the original demo. It's the only thing that remains from the original demo. Yeah, and it's played on my bass 6. It's not even a guitar.
Yeah, I think Tim described this song originally as like a punch in the gut, and that's exactly what it is. It couldn't have been a more perfect song to start the record with, without a doubt. And I think like Sandy said, I think when we were in the studio, we were like on fire. I think I did this take, probably maybe one take, maybe two. I don't know, Bill, if you remember, but it was just, it was there. The magic was there. And great way to start the album.
And you and Sandy were recording together, like live in a room, right?
Right, that's correct.
Wait, and Bill, you were actually producing that session by this point, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Not only was Bill producing, but the bass on that song is Bill. It's, yeah.
Did you play? You didn't play. You would sing along, I think, right? I'm trying to think. I know you give me vocal cues. I'm trying to think if it was this song.
Right, he was sort of shouting out. Here's the
right.
Yeah.
The fucking chorus.
And I will say, lyrically, this is the most pandemic-y song that we have on the record. The lyrics were written in the pool. I do a lot of writing while I'm swimming laps. So they were basically, they were, which doesn't sound angry and punk rock, but trust me, it can be. And the thing is, there was a Too Much Joy song back in 1988 called Worse. And this is basically the same approach that Worse took, where Worse was kind of like a paranoid young kid's, just reading the newspaper and going, the world's terrible. It was paranoid. It wasn't really all that real. Whereas what's happening here, the feeling hopefully is like you're flipping through channels on a TV while doom scrolling on your device. and you're seeing all this horrible shit on Fox and MSNBC and CNN, and then you flip over to IFC and Blue Velvet's on, and it all just feels of a piece, basically. So it's definitely not necessarily an angry song, but a holy shit, things are falling apart song.
You guys have had several like that. It's also reminds me of Unbeautiful in a lot of ways. And each of these songs has had kind of a different approach to how to cope with things are getting worse and people suck. This time, like, you are singing redemption. You're singing about redemption in a way that seems new for the band and weirdly like hopeful when things are at their worst. I mean, that's a surprise. Is there an irony there I'm missing?
It's not intended to be ironic. It's basically, as I said, dude who's singing this is flipping through the channels, and one of the things he's seeing is Blue Velvet. So Blinding Light of Love and several other lines are, direct lifts from that movie. And the Blinding Light of Love is a thing that Laura Dern's character talks about. She has this vision of it coming. And in the context of Blue Velvet, it doesn't feel particularly redemptive. It feels, like that's, what this weird 50s, representation of innocence is saying, but everything else in the movie is basically arguing against that. So it's the way it's sung is like, if there's going to be a blinding light of love that, fixes everything, it's probably a fucking hydrogen bomb going off.
But I would add to that in our younger years, we were a band, like you said, things are getting worse. We were a band that was looking towards the apocalypse. And now, years later, the apocalypse is upon us.
Yeah.
And what can we do but hope?
There's so many like hooks and fills and like notable, like, the dual guitars, the kind of paired guitar solo toward the end. The last minute of the song might be one of my favorite stretches of the album. That it just feels like this band is not leaving like any opportunity on the table. There's like so many arrangement ideas that it's not quite overwhelming, but there's just so much to seize on. Like as a fan, like you can sing along, and then there's all these other little bits too. Like that's the arrangement. That's like you guys sending things back and forth and back and forth.
Either that, or it's just Bill. Like, for all I know, 98% of what's good on the record, Bill added after the fact in his house.
Weird, good things happened. We're not sure how they happened.
Bill played them.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that looking for. Listen, I like to look for the hooks. I like to look for the bits that people are going to latch onto and remember and go, oh, that's cool. Whether it's in the drum part or in Jay's guitar parts or in little vocal ideas people had, and I like to look for those things and make the most of them. So yeah, we're not looking to make a subtle record. We're looking to hit you over the head and make you get it.
But also the process became, since I knew I was just sending some tracks to Bill and he was going to deal with it, and then Tim would come to my house and we would get wasted and do the bits, I would just like do 4 tracks. There were some songs where I'd be like, oh, I got to play on this song, and Tim would be like, no, we did that last night. Like no memory. But I knew that Bill was going to go through it and like find like the moments of genius in all the crap. And he did. And I know that wasn't easy, and I'm sorry, Bill, but I really enjoyed that process of not giving a fuck.
He sure did complain about that process a lot.
Oh, no, I did not.
No,
he's saying Bill did.
Yeah,
and as he should have.
Yeah, Bill should have complained about that process because it meant tons more work for him, but I really think it was worth it because he did find the moments of genius in the loads of crap.
Yeah, and I think there were some cases where I went back to you and said, "Hey, you played this. Can you double it? Can you play that in the other chorus?" Yeah. I mean, we identified some bits that had to be added, but yeah.
And there were times when Tim and I would send you stuff, and we would think it was like the greatest thing since fucking Christ, and you would say, "What were you guys thinking? Please redo this."
Although, to be fair, there were other times when we'd get a mix and I'd say, wait a minute, I remember Jay went nuts on this thing. Go find the wailing guitar bit that Jay did here and put it in. I remember that specifically on Hair Shirt, for instance.